Hailing frequencies open and welcome aboard Treks and Tangents. I'm your co-host Brian.
And I'm your co-host Jaci. I'm the Star Trek newbie who checks off on tangents.
And I'm your Star Trek expert who is here to get the tangents back on track. Each episode we watch and talk about a different Star Trek episode, and this week we watched
Star Trek, the original series, Season 1, Episode 5, The Enemy Within.
And welcome back to another episode, episode 6 for our little podcast that could. Thank you for joining us. It's only been 6 episodes. It feels like a lot more.
But it's a lot of fun.
It sure is. So we thank you again for joining us, and we'll just trek on with the episode. At the end of last week's episode, I gave Jaci the title to this week's episode. And Jaci gave her elevator pitch or turbo lift tease to what she thought the plot was going to be without any other knowledge or having seen the episode. And I have her prediction right here. And
Get your tiara ready.
And I quote, "Oh, well, that's simple. We are going to be fighting our inner demons because we want to. Have the good prevail and not the bad." Jaci,
a tiara and a crown, please.
how accurate do you think you were?
100%. I'm a badass.
I think on surface level you did nail the prediction based on the title. Surface level.
That's all we're talking about. We're not deep here.
Because when you do dive deeper, yes, this is on the surface good versus evil. But is one Kirk evil and one Kirk good? Or are they just different qualities of humankind that are not necessarily evil or good? Some are bad. Some are not.
I think you're spouting some Spock lines here.
Well, Spock was his own character this episode. Let's just get into it. What did you think about this episode?
I loved it.
You loved it.
Like, of all of the episodes we've seen that I've had to watch a million times, I loved it. I don't know why, because, it was just them running around. But, it could have been the topless Kirk in the middle of it, you know? He was cute.
Now that he's shaved his chest from the original pilot episode where he didn't shave his chest.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
If you go back to, this would have been...
Like the one with William Shatner or the one...
No, this would have been where No Man Has Gone Before, where we had...
The big heads?
Nope, that's too far back. Where No Man Has Gone Before was where the crew member had the really funky contacts and thought he was a god.
Oh.
If you go back to that episode, I think it's that episode, he takes his shirt off. Is it that episode or is it? See, now
half the podcast we're talking about naked people.
Yeah, we're 4 minutes in and we're just talking about shirtless Kirk.
Who went on a tangent this time?
Well, it's Shatner. It's young Shatner. I'm gonna figure this out. Is it Where No Man Has Gone Before or Charlie X? I think is it Charlie X when he's in the gym and he's throwing the little boy around that he's shirtless? This isn't any better.
Oh my, no.
This is not any better.
Oh, no.
Abort. We're
should
done.
Probably talk to some Chat GPT.
No, we're not going to pull up Chat GPT into this. We're already on a list at this point. So you liked the episode. I'm just going to pull it right back on track.
I did. My girl Janice, I actually am looking forward. I have a big tangent coming up. My girls are going to love it. You're not going to like it.
Okay, well, I don't like this episode. I'll give my initial impression.
How dare you?
This is a terrible episode.
Why?
Why? It has nothing to do
about space.
No, it's not even that it has nothing to do about space. I was going to say it has nothing to do with some of the more adult-centric themes of the episode when Kirk attacks Janice as the major adult theme. I don't like this episode for my primary reason is I don't like Spock in this episode.
Really? Why not?
I think Spock shows far too much emotion when he's talking to Kirk. When Kirk starts to break down and lose his ability to be a leader and make decisions and make rational judgments on the situation and become super indecisive. When you watch Spock, he is definitely far too invested emotionally into the situation than I think he should be. There is also the absolutely disgusting comment that he makes to Janice at the very end of the episode that completely ruins his character.
Yeah, that was kind of creepy.
That was beyond creepy. That was inexcusable. There's also a couple other points to this episode. I'll talk about it when we get to it because I don't want to mention it multiple times. It's just not a good episode for me behind the scenes.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
But without further ado, Jackie, why don't you walk us through this episode?
Well, we are on a rocky planet again.
Again.
But this time they actually remembered to bring tents. Like they have colored, it's kind of like pop-up tents. And I'm like, you got good job, guys. Good job.
Yeah, they got an extra $50 out of the set design.
Yeah. But my man Sulu, who's now sober and happy, he's holding a puppy. And this puppy is like a unicorn. So well, think of a dog with a horn on its head, like a unicorn, and it's just sitting there. So he's holding it, and I have no idea why.
I'll point out he's just sitting there. I'll foreshadow my thought a couple points, but he's just sitting there. Go on.
Yeah, he's holding it, and they're just chatting about it. And so, and Sulu's like, well, it's getting kind of cold. And Kirk just makes it like a flippant comment, like, yeah, it gets to be about 120 degrees below zero. But yeah, we'll be home by then. We already know something bad's going to happen. But we're going to pretend we don't know because we're having fun. And so all of a sudden, there's like a crash, and this cute little guy falls off a cliff, and he's wearing my favorite color is yellow, as you all probably know. But on his jumpsuit, it's yellow all over, but his hand is cut, bleeding, all of that.
From falling off the rock face.
Yes.
And I'll point out the crewman's name here is Fisher.
Yes, I did not learn that until later because I was just like, Cutie Pie needs to go get it fixed up because he is a cutie. He says, bye, guys, and off to the spaceship he goes, the Enterprise.
Yes, the Enterprise. Crewman Cutie returns to the Enterprise.
But then we're back when, like, doot, there is like a malfunction of some sort because he's not coming as quickly as they normally do.
Okay, hot take. We're going to clean that up for a second. He teleports.
Yeah, help me with all the wordings.
He transports back to the Enterprise, and there is a glitch in the transporter system.
Yes, that. And Scotty, the engineer, is like, my bro here, I already forgot his Wilson. No. I forgot his name. Well, anyways, he told his fellow crewmen to go get the mechanism that will help fix see, I don't even know what I'm talking about. He's getting a mechanism that will help fix our little transporter so that it goes faster and things don't go awry. But they think it could be not working well because that cute little yellow ore that's on Fisher's uniform.
Crewman Cutie.
Yes, Crewman Cutie. It's magnetic. And again, they bring out what looks like a Nerf gun with a sponge on it. And that tells that it's magnetic. Awesome. But Mr. Cutie has to go get his hand fixed. Meanwhile, Kurt, so think, Scotty is just chilling, waiting. He hears Kurt going, "Hi, I'm trying to come now," and Scotty says, "Don't yet, just wait." And so it's just Scotty at the main, and then our other crewman, we're just going to call him Wilson because I forgot his name.
Guess what? It is Wilson.
Woo! I got it. So he's off getting that machinery that's supposed to fix the transport machine that is having an issue. And Kirk's like, dude, I'm coming, ready or not. And doot, 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 Kirk arrives, but he doesn't feel well. He doesn't feel well. So Scotty is like, dude, we got to get you to sick bay. So Scotty and Kirk have left the transport room. Wilson's gone and it's empty. And then doot doot doot. I love saying that. Another Kirk arrives. But this dude, he has an evil smile. He's even wearing makeup.
He's wearing eyeshadow.
I love it. And he's creepy.
He's evil Kirk. He's emo Kirk. He's hot topic Kirk.
Oh, I like that. And so they're twins, but we could tell they're different because of the makeup and whatnot.
Never mind the fact that he is covered in sweat.
Yeah.
He's got a crazy look to his eye. He looks absolutely insane. But yes, the major difference is he's wearing eye makeup.
And then we have the opening credits that always are different lengths and different pictures, but still beautiful.
Well, they're slowly settling into a predictable rhythm as we leave the pilot episodes and the chaotic first episodes behind.
And we starting to get like a history going on in the wordage.
Yes.
And then, of course, we have our captain's log as it starts. And he's talking about we actually learn that the name of the planet that they're on is Alpha 177. But weirdly, it's spelled alpha like alfalfa and not alpha like ALPHA. I thought that was interesting.
Did you get that from the subtitles?
Maybe.
Do you think that perhaps it was just the subtitles being wrong?
But sometimes they have the PH in there.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I
like my alfalfa 177.
Okay. I'll point out I like the captain's log this episode as well because sometimes the captain's log, when he's recording it and speaks to events and facts that he would have no way of knowing at the time, and he doesn't give a good time scope to it. In this particular captain's log, he does address the fact that the way he speaks about Hot Topic Kirk beaming on board being unknown to everyone at the time, this is clearly showing that he is recording it after the fact of the events. And I just like that it timestamps it a little bit for the listeners, or I'm sorry, the audience.
I liked it too. When he first started talking, I was like, whoa, he's telling us about it. But anyways, so Wilson has gone back to the transporter room. He doesn't know where Scotty is. He has no idea that real Kirk arrived. So when Wilson is there, our evil Kirk has arrived. And so he's like, hi, how you doing? And off they go. And he helps him into...
Well, Hot Topic Kirk just kind of strangely wanders out of the transporter room, leaving Wilson in the transporter room.
Bewildered. He's like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
Because he totally ignores him and is mean.
Yeah.
So as we said earlier, real Kirk and Scotty are in the hallway, and Kirk is like, I'm not going to sick bay. I'm just going to go take a nap. So he says, peace out. So Kirk enters his quarters, and Janice is in there waiting because she's amazing. And she starts rattling off all these things that he needs to know. She's accomplished, what's happened throughout the day.
Is she really amazing?
I love her, so yes.
She's fine as a character, but this is Kirk's quarters. This is not a conference room. This is not any kind of public space. This is literally Captain Kirk's private quarters, and she was just
chilling
in there waiting for him to give these reports. Weird.
Maybe that's the nightly routine or whatever.
That sounds like an HR issue.
Well, he ends up saying, I'm sorry. but I need you to go. I'm exhausted. I hurt. Please go." And off she goes.
Kirk is pretty dismissive and very rude to her, borderline rude to her.
Yes.
I think that leads into the interaction that Janice has later with Hot Topic Kirk.
Oh.
I think that puts her in the mindset and kind of has already soured her a little bit toward
Oh.
Captain Kirk in this episode. I think that's a little bit of why this interaction happens. But again, your assistant should not be waiting for you in your private quarters.
No, I totally see what you mean. So Janice leaves. He lays down. He puts his little phone on his headboard and off to bed he goes. So he's out for the count for however long.
That's one thing this this episode is not good at. There's a couple instances where a chunk of time has to pass in order for things to make sense in the plot, and it's not very good at conveying how much time has elapsed. Just like this instance, it's not really known how much time passes for Kirk to be taking a nap for all the other activities to happen.
That's true. I mean, is it like midnight or whatever? But what are we calling him? Hot Topic Kurt?
Yeah, Hot Topic Kirk.
So he actually finds his own way to the sick bay where crewman Cutie is getting his hand fixed. And that's where I do learn that his name is Fisher. And McCoy makes a joke about it's been slow there. So Cutie just wanted to be over there so he can have some vacation and McCoy can have something to do. And then they see that Kirk entered and then, "Oh, you're done. See you later. Bye." But Kirk is awful. He doesn't even say hi. He doesn't do anything. He just demands some kind of brandy called Saurian brandy.
Saurian brandy.
Is it? And what's so special about it? I mean, it has a beautiful, beautiful bottle, but
we'll talk about the bottle. Saurian brandy is just a type of wine that is unique to the Star Trek universe. Much in the same way that we have Romulan ale or we have Klingon blood wine, this is just a type of alcohol in Star Trek.
Oh, those are things I didn't know about either. So I'm excited to learn. But anyways, little guy runs away and McCoy is just staring him down as he opens up that frosted medicine cabinet window and Hot Topic Kirk just grabs it and starts drinking it right from the bottle. Okay. So Hot Topic Kirk leaves sickbay, and as he's walking down, he finds Janice's quarters, and he has the ugliest, creepy smile, and I cringed when I saw it. It was awful. But we stop there, and then we pop over to real Kirk, or real, real fake, the normal Captain Kirk, and that's where he's shirtless, but you can obviously tell he's in pain. He is trying to like get a kink out of his neck. He needs one of those massage thingies, you know? But that's when Spock pops in also. He's like, "Are you okay? McCoy told me to pop in and check on you. You just stole brandy. What's wrong?" And Kirk's like, "I have no idea what you're talking about, dude."
Yeah, so this is what I was alluding to, where the episode does a very poor job about making known the passage of time between events. Because Kirk lays down for a nap, we see Hot Topic Kirk in the sick bay, the whole brandy, stealing from McCoy, leaving. That all takes 3 minutes, maybe.
Well, in the show, but
yeah,
who knows how much in real life.
But again, there's just, it's a huge jump to go from he leaves, he wanders into Janice's quarters, and then instantly Spock is back in Kirk's room and is questioning Kirk, and Kirk is awake. So some time has passed, but it's just, for me, it's an awkward jump in time. But then we have another awkward jump in time where Spock and Kirk go to the transporter room to check in with Scotty.
and Scotty is holding that little puppy that came. But now I must not have seen it at the beginning because my unicorn dog now has antenna. He has two of them.
It definitely was on the dog at the very beginning.
So I'd be blind.
Yeah.
But Scotty wants to show them that while the one came over all nice and sweet, shortly after he had an exact duplicate, but a mean one and aggressive, and he's like in this cage.
Crate.
Yes, a crate. I think they call it a specimen, whatever. I don't know, whatever. Well, they opened it up, and my cute unicorn dog is snarling and attacking them. And then they quickly shut the gate, the cage, and they're confused. Like, how did this happen? It must have been because of perhaps the metal,
Or
the ore from Cutie's uniform. I mean, there was a transport issue even before he came. Something happened, and they need to fix it and help this guy, this little pup.
I'll translate.
Help me.
This is the moment where Scotty fully theorizes that the yellow ore that came back on the uniform of Crewman Fisher, aka Crewman Cutie Pie, because of its composition and magnetic metallic substance caused a feedback glitch in the transporter. This time when they tried to transport the dog, they were able to observe the glitch in the way that they weren't able to observe it with Captain Kirk. They were able to observe the dog come through and then the transporter by itself turning on and transporting this mean evil dog to the Enterprise. So they still don't know that this has happened to Captain Kirk. They haven't put two and two together yet, but they do at least recognize why this would be bad if a human went through the transporter. This is where we get the problem. They now do not have a way or method of getting the rest of the away team, Sulu and the other crew members, back to the Enterprise. And remember, night's going to fall and it's going to get 120 degrees below zero. There is a lot of speculation about this episode. Why are they so reliant on the transporter? Why does the Enterprise not just use a shuttlecraft to go down to the planet to get the away team? The short answer is the writers of the show had not come up with this idea of shuttlecraft and that the Enterprise had shuttlecraft to use. The longer explanation that has to work for Star Trek canon is the Enterprise either wasn't yet retrofitted with shuttlecraft or some adventure off screen damaged the shuttle bay and shuttlecraft without us seeing it and rendered them useless.
Well, I mean, Sulu did joke about having a rope tied to a coffee pot and just dangle it down there.
Yeah. So again, the shuttlecraft don't exist yet in the Star
Trek. I have no
Trek.
idea what you're talking about either.
The shuttlecraft? We're going to pause here, audience, and I'm going to pull up a picture of a shuttlecraft to show Jaci. And we're back. Jaci has now seen what a shuttlecraft looks like.
I'm very educated.
Yeah. This is also going to be the point where I'm going to bring up this fact of the episode. I was originally going to wait until the end of the episode in our fun facts or triple tidbits, but this is not a fun fact. So, Jaci foreshadowed it earlier when we first saw the dog on the planet and it was being held by Sulu and it was very calm. Animal rights protections on movie and TV sets did not exist in 1966 when this was filmed. The reason why the dog was so calm is it was because it was overly medicated and sedated for filming. The angry dog that we see in the show was starved for 24 hours before shoots and poked with a stick to get the reaction. It's terrible. It's one of the reasons why we now have animal rights on film and TV sets, and it is the biggest reason why I do not like this episode.
That's absolutely terrible. And I am a farm girl, and I would never do that to my animals. That my jaw dropped to the floor when he said that.
Yeah. So we learn, we improve, we move on. It's the only time I'll mention it. Just thought I'd point it out.
All right, well, I'm glad we got that over with. But on a bright side, since we were talking about Kirk and his cutie pie-ness, the good Kirk that you're gonna see change into a more comfy outfit, we'll say. It's still the same colors. It's just a nice V-neck, and he has all of his little gold around his neck
It's not
instead
the
of
same
that.
colors.
Yeah, it's still green.
His V-neck turtleneck, his V-neck shirt, the more relaxed outfit, is green, like a
Yeah.
mossy green.
And the other one is green.
No, the uniform is a really ugly mustard yellow.
I must be colorblind. I'm just looking at the gold, I guess.
What color was the costume you wore for Halloween?
Bright yellow.
Yeah, that's Kirk's colors.
I must have been staring at the yellow instead.
We're going to take a pause right here, audience, and we're going to pull up a picture of Kirk's uniform.
They look like the same when they're fighting.
Kirk's uniform. This is gold yellow.
Okay, bring up evil Kirk. Good Kirk.
That's green. Green, yellow. This is green. Yeah.
And then, what is it?
Yeah, the uniform itself is a yellow gold color. The more relaxed V-neck shirt is a mossy green color. Different colors.
I'm an idiot. Oh my gosh.
Welcome back. This has been another installment of Brian Google's Star Trek images while recording a podcast.
I'm helping with the tangents.
Oh, man.
We're working on our colors. Well, anyways, he's wearing a different shirt. It's a V-neck instead of a mock turtleneck.
And it was specifically created by the costume department as a way, in this part of the episode, to distinguish between the two different Kirks.
Because they meet. Well, anyways, so boop, boop, boop. Back to Janice's room. So we already know that evil Kirk is already in there because he's been checking out her room, which, oh my gosh, the set designer who did her room, I love it. The paintings, the color, I love it. It's beautiful. Anyways, so he's just in there. He's in her closet, hiding and watching her. Because Janice finally we have no time, as you mentioned again. She has the night off, and she's in her room, relaxing, getting ready for bed, getting ready for whatever. I assume the Enterprise has a nightlife. Who knows? But anyways, she's undoing.
I'm silent here because I'm just trying to catch up with all of the different comments. Does the Enterprise have a nightlife?
Yeah, I don't know.
It has a rec room. It has a bowling alley. We've learned. It had yes. Jaci looks confused.
No, I'm with you. I mean, so they have to have something, so she can't wear her little red dress to everything, right? She has to have some other clothing.
Yeah,
I would assume.
They would have to have casual civilian clothing. I don't think we've seen her wear anything other than her red uniform dress.
No, because unfortunately we don't get to see, because evil Kirk pops out of the closet and is
for the audience,
actual closet.
For the audience that's listening, this is Jackie bringing the tangent back on track.
Yay me! He pops out of the closet and she's like, "Oh, Captain, I didn't know if you needed anything." And then he's creepy, of course, and he's talking about how beautiful she is and how she can't deny how great they are together, and
that they have feelings for each other.
Yes, and she looks horrified the whole time, and he grabs her and she's fighting him off, but then next thing he's pushing her on the ground because, he's not being nice.
He's trying to force himself onto her. He's assaulting her.
But she's a tough lady, and she scratches him and runs away. And he's stuck there.
She manages to keep him at bay, and she manages to make it to the door. and the door opens, and who should be walking by but crewman Cutie Pie,
Yay!
aka Fisher. And Janice tells Fisher to call Spock. And Fisher sees all of this. And in that time, Hot Topic Kirk rushes into the hallway. Fisher manages to get the call off to Spock, but then Kirk knocks Fisher down and punches him and knocks him out.
And it's awful. And I just want to give Janice a hug. Like, I feel really bad for her. And
Janice does do the actress who plays Janice does a fantastic job in this episode.
yes,
Yeah.
she's kick ass. I love it.
And so we have another jump with no time reference again. And we're now back in Kirk's quarters. And there's another confrontation between Kirk and Spock.
But Spock tells Kirk what's happened. And Kirk's like, what? He has no idea what has happened this entire time. Spock and Kirk, the real Kirk, head to sickbay to investigate what's been happening.
Because at this point, Janice is in sickbay, being looked to by the doctor. That's what they're going to go investigate. They're going to go talk to Janice about what has happened.
And as the door closes,
On the turbo lift,
it's like, bam, we see Bloody Knuckles just in the picture. And
they enter the camera frame from off camera.
And again, creepy. And then now they walk into the sick bay.
Well, before that, we find that the hand with the bloody knuckles belongs to Hot Topic Kirk. So Spock and the real Kirk miss him in the hallway by mere seconds, and the Hot Topic Kirk finds and enters Kirk's quarters, which he enters and removes himself from the general narration. He's now out of sight, out of mind. That's why no one else encounters him during the next little bit.
And he's enjoying all of real Kirk's wares. So now that we're in the sick bay to check on Janice, this was another thing that I didn't like. We have probably also from, it's so long ago, but we have one woman sitting down and she's being hovered over by 4 men because a 4th person comes in.
Yeah, I've got a fact later. I'll talk about, or I'll just burn it right now. So the actress who played Janice had or struggled to, as an actress, enter into this emotional state of a woman who's just been assaulted. She was having trouble channeling that emotion for whatever reason. She was having an off moment.
That makes sense.
While the two scenes between the assault and this scene happen within minutes of each other, it could have been a whole day that has passed since this filming between the two scenes. So the solution that William Shatner, who plays Captain Kirk, came up with is he just slaps her in between takes. And I am sure it was with her consent. I am sure it was not
Right.
an off-camera assault, but that's a really unique way to solve a quote-unquote problem of you're having problems channeling the emotions of someone who's just been assaulted. Let me assault you.
And they're completely gaslighting her about what happened because Kirk is there and he's like, I did nothing to you. Look at my face. There's no scratches here. I'm clean as a whistle. And I just felt bad for her. And now the slaps make sense.
Well, let's talk about one more thing here. We don't really have a good judgment of how much time is elapsing between what we see on screen. But Hot Topic Kirk has been chugging Sorry and Brandy like there's no tomorrow.
True.
And real Kirk has not been drinking any alcohol. Wouldn't it have been kind of a cool reveal to do a blood test on the real Kirk at this moment as an aha kind of moment to say, look, there's no alcohol in my system. You said that I came in here, stole brandy. Multiple people have seen me drinking. Dr. McCoy would have seen Hot Topic Kirk drinking the brandy. Janice saw Kirk drinking the brandy. It was reported that he stole the brandy. It would have been a good detective moment to just say, look, I'm as sober as a judge. How could I have been drinking all of that brandy and still be sober? There must be an imposter. I think that would have been a better way to run this scene than to just gaslight Janice into saying, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, woman. It wasn't me.
I could see that. But again, it was a long time ago and
In a galaxy far,
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 far
away.
away.
Literally.
So I mean, nowadays we would do that, I'm sure, but then they're just she's a woman and she's my assistant and how dare she say I did something.
Yeah. But we don't get that detective moment. They still come to the conclusion that there must be an imposter on board without any other conclusive evidence other than dismissal of Janice's claims.
So then we have cuz Spock, he's like I'm the logical one. I'm also half human. So, yes, I agree. And he's like imposter, but keep it to the vest. I'm like, what? And so then we have our captain's log 1672.2, and he basically just he mentions nothing about what's happening on the Enterprise, just that our landing party is in jeopardy due to transporter issues.
Well, again, the transporter is malfunctioning and creating quote unquote good and evil duplicates of everything. So they can't transport the away team up from the planet.
And we saw Crazy Sulu last episode.
We don't want to create crazy Sulu again. So they're stuck on the planet, but again, night is coming and the temperature keeps dropping.
Spock and Kirk are talking about making search parties to find the imposter and to, have their phasers on stun, number one, because we don't want anyone to die.
Well, they don't know what's going to happen if half of Kirk is suddenly killed.
Right, because will the other one die too? But anyways, so and then they have a conversation because Kirk wants to announce, hey, everybody, we got to find this dude.
Specifically, Kirk wants to make a shipwide announcement and explain the search parties are not just looking for an imposter, they're looking for a duplicate of Kirk.
Correct. But Spock does not want that to happen because then he'll seem vulnerable. He will seem weak. The crew will not have, they won't see him as a commander anymore.
They'll lose respect for him.
And well, Kirk is like, I don't care. And he runs to the bridge and he makes that announcement anyways. And he also tells everybody just the same thing. Phasers on one, stun, don't kill anybody, but we have to find someone who looks just like me. Well, in Kirk's quarters, evil Kirk hears the announcement that the imposter has scratches on his face. Somewhere he finds makeup and is trying to cover up said scratches because, they're looking for him. So cover him up so they don't notice it and he'll be just normal Kirk. After he covers up his scratches, he's on his way out and he sees Wilson. He calls Wilson over, kind of like hey, let's chit chat. But no, he asks Wilson for his phaser and then knocks him out he just knocks him out and then off he goes. In the conference room, Kirk and Spock are discussing what's happening. Spock realizes that evil Kirk has the same memories and thoughts that regular Kirk does.
We know this because the recent attack that just happened on Wilson was called up to real Kirk and Spock. And the fact that Hot Topic Kirk called Wilson over by name and knew him and recognized him is what leads Spock to this realization.
And Spock asks Kirk, if you were running away or
trying to hide from everyone,
yes, where would you go? And Kirk replies, the lower levels.
The lowest level of the ship, which is engineering.
I probably would too. So Kirk and Spock go down by themselves looking for our Hot Topic guy. And while they're down there, we actually see Hot Topic Kirk on top of the equipment.
Running around, parkouring.
Having fun while he's staring at them.
we eventually have a face-to-face encounter between the real Kirk and Hot Topic Kirk. Kirk mentions to Hot Topic Kirk, as he has a phaser pointed at him, that Hot Topic Kirk can't kill the real Kirk because they're part of the same person. They need each other, and Hot Topic Kirk doesn't want to listen. Just as he fires his phaser, Spock comes around the corner and does a Vulcan neck pinch or nerve pinch on Hot Topic Kirk, knocking him out, causing the shot to go astray, damaging some equipment, but saving the real Kirk's life.
Now we're in the sick bay, and Hot Topic Kirk is tied down to the bed. Spock is kind of excited so that hopefully he can study human emotion and human attributes.
He's excited because it's an opportunity to study the two different aspects of humanity, the two polar opposites of humanity.
And McCoy objects. He's like, "We're not using Kirk as a lab experiment." Then Scotty does his little, they do the intercom. Scotty tells them things are broken. It's going to take at least a week to fix, which is unacceptable.
Specifically, Scotty points out that the shot from Evil Kirk in engineering that was intended to kill the real Kirk has damaged circuitry and components to the transporter, so setting them further behind and creating just another reason why it's becoming more and more difficult to rescue the away team on the planet.
Evil Kirk is waking up. He's freaking out. He is dying, but our hero Kirk is like, "No, you are not dying. Hold my hand. We can become one. We are one."
Kirk says he has to take him back inside of himself, is the quote.
Thank you. I've been waiting for that. I couldn't find it. And they just have to be together. And now we're back in the transporter room, and Spock and Scotty have magically somehow fixed the transporter and are going to test our little unicorn dog to see if they can put him back together. They do sedate the evil one so that they can control him. They put him on the transporter, both of them, start the transport, and then reverse it. It comes back together as one unicorn dog, but sadly he's dead.
I will point out, I rewound this scene a couple times to look at the two dogs that they use and then the one dog when it comes back together. I believe we are looking at one dog and a stuffed animal dressed in the same costume that the real dog is dressed in. So they're using a real dog and a stuffed dog or a stuffed animal together, and then when they come back together and they show that the experiment failed and that the dog died, what they examine is a stuffed animal dog.
Well, that would explain why the nice dog was like, "Hello, what are you doing?" And of course, McCoy wants to do a necropsy, but we have no time for that. We don't have time to wait for the necropsy, but Spock tells Kirk that he thinks he's pretty sure that the dog died because, I mean, he's an animal. He's scared. He doesn't know what's happening. It's shock. As a human, Kirk knows what's happening. He is aware. They make decisions, all that great jazz. But Kirk can't make a decision. He, like the evil Kirk, are fading. But then they receive a call from Sulu, and he's explaining how two men are already unconscious. It's 70 degrees below zero.
It's 117 degrees below zero.
Thank you. And they're fading fast. And then that forces Kirk's hand that they're just going to have to do it. Kirk unties evil Kirk from the hospital bed and starts to take him out of the room, where evil Kirk ambushes the real Kirk and runs out of the room, where he meets Janice in the hallway, and he pretends to be our regular Kirk, nice Kirk, and he just tells
Janice that it was all the evil Kirk who assaulted her, and that he even assaulted the Evil Kirk, who's pretending to be the real Kirk and applied scratches to his cheek as well, we find out in just a few minutes that Evil Kirk has done this anyway to eliminate the clue of the scratches being able to identify who is who. It's still Evil Kirk talking to Janice. I think Janice recognizes that something is still a little bit off and doesn't buy the full story. But Evil Kirk leaves Janice in the hallway and goes up to the bridge of the Enterprise.
Where he takes over and he's just, let's go. We're changing route. Let's get out of here. And his crewmen are confused. They're like, but what about Sulu and the guys? And he doesn't care. But then, to the rescue, our real Kirk comes with McCoy and says, don't believe him. It is me. I am the real Kirk. And he explains to Evil Kirk that they have to be together. They're both dying. I mean, do you want to die? And finally, he succumbs to what real Kirk is saying. And finally, they agree to try going back together.
Yeah, evil Hot Topic Kirk finally has a moment of realization. I don't know if it's just all the adrenaline draining out.
Yeah, maybe he's just tired.
But we see evidence that both Kirks, or each half of the full Kirk, are suffering being apart. We saw that with the evil Kirk in the hospital bed. We saw that with the evil Kirk in sickbay with his vital signs dropping. We see that continuously with good Kirk, or real Kirk, as he continues to have this mental breakdown and not being able to make decisions and lead as the captain of the ship. So yes, evil Kirk finally reluctantly agrees that he's tired and that he will consent to the transporter solution. I don't know if he really consents. He just kind of gives up.
Jinx. So off to the transporter they go, and they're like hugging. It's kind of cute, actually.
Well, it's a good way that they're able to have two bodies on screen because, again, we don't have CGI in 1966. So it's William Shatner hugging a body double.
I didn't even think about that. And cross your fingers. Let's start the transport and reverse it. And thank goodness, real Kirk comes back as real Kirk, all put back together. And then he's like, let's get those boys home. And thankfully, all four are alive. And McCoy says maybe they have frostbite and they're a bit cold, but they're all going to make it, thank goodness. And on the bridge, our Kirk and Janice do reconcile. And it's nice to see that their relationship has solidified again. And as she's walking by, Spock does get kind of rude and, goes, that evil Kirk did have some intriguing qualities. And I think that was extremely rude of him.
Yeah, it's a terrible way to end the episode, but roll credits. So, Jackie, what did you think about Season 1, Episode 5, The Enemy Within?
Well, I loved it until we learned all about how bad the animals were treated and how poor Janice had to be slapped to cry. Now I don't know how I feel.
Yeah, it really is a shame because this is a really well-written episode, I think. It's a fantastic plot. It's really fun to watch William Shatner play these extreme polar opposites for basically two different characters.
I really like that part.
Yeah, it is definitely inspired by Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Definitely is a fun episode. It just has some very, very negative
behind the scenes
undertones. Yeah. I won't even call it undertones because it has some mature themes and it has some very disturbing themes on camera, but I don't think that ruins the episode. For me, it's how Spock acts. It's the behind the scenes stuff that I just don't care for it. I don't like this episode in the end. So, but as always, I have some triple tidbits, which is what we call fun facts about the episode.
What you got?
So this episode aired October 6, 1966.
Oh.
This is one of the rare instances on the show where James Doohan, who plays Scotty, where the audience is able to see that he is missing the middle finger of his right hand. Early in the episode, he reaches for some of the transporter controls with his right hand, and we're able to see on screen that he is missing his middle finger. He lost it during the D-Day invasion. James was a veteran and was in D-Day.
Wow.
We mentioned, of course, earlier that Evil Kirk, or Hot Topic Kirk, is wearing eyeliner to make him more easily identifiable visibly by the viewer. The subplot of the away team of Sulu and the rest of the crew on the planet facing freezing temperatures as a way to force Kirk to make the final decision to use the transporter as a solution, that was added by the producers over the objection of the script writer, Richard Matheson. This is the only episode written by Richard Matheson. He is also credited, I think the largest credit, he's got a lot of writing credits, but he helped or co-wrote the screenplay for the movie I Am Legend. But yeah, he did not like that subplot of the away team on the planet, which would have really made this a very different episode. It would have solved the quandary of why didn't they use shuttlecraft, because we wouldn't have had the problem. But it also would have been interesting to see how they would have rewritten some of the parts of the episode that relied on the away team. As an example, we wouldn't have had the dogs in the episode because they wouldn't have been they would never have gone to the planet to collect samples. That's why they have the dog. We never would have had Sulu's last transmission to push Kirk into the final decision. So it would have been interesting. The Saurian brandy bottle, this is probably the most prominent time that bottle is seen on screen. It's not the only time, but it's probably best seen in this episode. And it's actually a commemorative George Dickel whiskey bottle.
I mean, it's beautiful.
I mentioned this earlier, I think. Grace Lee Whitney, who is the actress who plays Janice, this is one of her favorite episodes, despite the slap that I mentioned. Again, that's why I think it was a consensual method to get her into the mindset for that scene. So I won't judge that too harshly, but she really enjoyed this ability to interact with William Shatner and have these emotional interactions. Because while Janice is a great character on screen, she's largely a background character. She's largely one-dimensional.
Yeah, I loved this, that she got to be so dynamic.
Yeah. This is the second time that we see the Vulcan nerve pinch on screen, the first being last week's episode, The Naked Time. But this episode was filmed first, so the pinch was invented for this episode. I think if you go back to The Naked Time and see the instance of the Vulcan nerve pinch being used on Sulu on the bridge when he's crazy Sulu, it's almost a throwaway moment and not the big dramatic first time it's introduced. Compared to this episode in the engineering when they use it on Hot Topic Kirk, it is more pronounced, it is more dramatic. So that's just my own observation. Those are your Tribble tidbits. So this is the part of the episode where we rank the episode. We pretend that the episode is a member of our crew for our fictitious ship. We assign it a Starfleet rank that signifies not only how much we enjoyed the episode, but more importantly, how much we feel this episode is important to the season and how much of an important member of the crew that it is. The higher rank episode means we enjoyed the episode more. Lower rank episode means it's more of a disposable crew member and we disliked the episode. Our general rankings start at the bottom from Ensign, Lieutenant Junior Grade, Lieutenant, Lieutenant Commander. Total of 10 episodes can hold that rank. Commander, total of 5. Captain, total of 1. And Admiral, the pinnacle or best of the best episode for the season. Last week's episode, The Naked Time, Jaci ranked it a Lieutenant Junior Grade or a 2 or 3 out of 10. I ranked it a commander, an 8 or 9 out of 10. Jackie, for your ship, the USS Galactic Glitterbee, what would you rank this episode? And I think we're going to establish the rule that the ranking reflects what you thought of the episode as you watched it in real time.
Okay, that helps me a lot because I was very conflicted actually. I am going to go with Lieutenant Commander because I really did like it. I mean, it was just fun. And like I said, I got to learn more about Janice. I got to see William Shatner play so many characters. I mean, the same character, but both ways. And plus, I mean, how can you not love a unicorn doggy with
Yeah,
antenna?
yeah, ultimately that is a cute costume for the dog. I'm going to go the opposite direction. I'm going to
Of
rank
course.
this an ensign. That is the lowest of the lowest. This is absolutely, in my mind, a toss away episode. Irregardless, on screen, in the moment, watching Spock as a character, watching his emotional reactions. This is Leonard Nimoy not being comfortable in the character's shoes, not fully establishing who the character is yet. Ultimately, it feels weird to rank it so low, the bottom of the bottom for a throwaway line, but boy howdy, that line at the very end, it really just ruins the whole episode, which is really too bad. So yeah, I'm going to give it a rank of ensign. That is a 0 or 1 out of 10. For comparison, IMDb at the time of this recording ranks the episode a 7.6 out of 10. We do have a visual representation of the rankings so far that we post on our Patreon at patreon.com/Treks and Tangents. We post it one day after the episode goes live, so every Wednesday we'll have an updated visual to where everything stands. We'll be back next week to trek through another episode, but first, before we go, we'll give a turbolift tease or elevator pitch to next week's episode. I'll give Jackie the title of the next episode, and Jackie, with no other information, having never seen the episode before, will give a brief pitch to the plot. Jackie, next week's episode is entitled Mud's Women.
I am going to say that Mud is a dude, a person, and he has a harem of ladies and they need help. Boom.
And we'll check in next week to see how accurate your prediction is. If you want more show information, you can find and directly support our podcast on Patreon at patreon.com/Treks and Tangents. You can also follow us on x.com at Treks_Tangents. We're also on Instagram and Blue Sky at Treks and Tangents. Jackie, where can people find you and what you are up to?
You can find me on Instagram under Jaboom, JIBBOOM. I have a quandary of things on there. I've got some labubu's, music, makeup, clothing, weight loss, dog training. Just got it all going on. And disability awareness.
And you can watch me stream a variety of video games over at twitch.tv/Pirate Poundtown. On YouTube, I post video games and other random content on my main channel at Pirate Poundtown. Also on YouTube, I post coin collecting and other hobby content at Pirate Treasure Hunting. I post socially on Blue Sky at Pirate Poundtown, and I can be found on Instagram under Pineapple Cannibal because Instagram has banned pirate. Links to all social media mentioned can be found in the episode description. Thank you everyone for tuning into this episode. We hope you had fun like we did, and we will see you all next week.
Doot, doot, doot.
End transmission.